CNN science features news producer, freelance technical writer, television analyst, and publisher of the website YOWUSA.com. Yowsa, I guess. He spent 3 years researching the material for his book, God, Child, Covenant, Return of Nibiru, has written extensively on Nibiru flyby-related topics to include catastrophic Earth changes, crop circles, impact events, and future technologies. So coming up in a moment, we'll find out what all this is about the 6th. I mean, it's just right around the corner. After all, stay right there. A crop circle that may look at the date September 6th as something, some event, some catastrophic event. I don't know, an alignment of the planets, a crop circle covered up by a government. All of that is what we're about to talk to. Welcome to the program, Marshall.
Welcome.
Good. All right. I mean, that is kind of where we're going here, isn't it? Some crop circle covered up by a government. Is that correct?
Well, right now, what's happening over in England and over here is rather amazing. The best thing for me to do is just give you a brief chronology of what I call contact denial.
Contact denial. Lay it out.
Okay. Starts off on the 3rd of July. Published an article on extraterrestrials at odds with crop circle messages. I was talking about the Crabwood 2002 formation.
Are they at odds with formations? What do you mean?
Well, it was just the title of it, but it was this is the one where the alien holding the disc.
Yes.
And in there, they're saying, beware of, basically people from flour and sugar, and they're telling you the wrong things. You got to believe that there are good people out there as well. So there was a message in there, and it was a warning.
No, they weren't referring to a government.
Well, it's hard to say who they were referring to. It just was a general warning. And then what happened is that on the 16th of July, a fellow by the name of Maurice Osborne, he had done a crop circle video, which I based that article on. And I was helping him to get it out on the internet. And his home was broken into. He didn't touch anything except they went to his personal area of his home where he had the master copy of his video, alien messages.
Destroyed and left, or destroyed and taken, disappeared, or what?
Destroyed and left. The way he described it was they pulled the tape out and tore it up into knots. And after this happened, Paul Begay reports this the 18th of July that there are conspiracies and threats against crop circle researchers in England.
Verified?
Verified. Now that is, he's got that verified. I just received an email today from him. He's got solid proof on that. He's going to be bringing out an article very shortly. And
what was the nature of the threats?
The threats, as I understand them, is basically general harassment, especially against crop circle researchers that are using the ultralight. So they're threatening to basically deny them access to the air and other things. So there's a lot of it. Right now there's a lot of noise and a lot of bad stuff happening over there. It's not one big happy family.
I understand that the crop circles in England suddenly stopped. Yes?
Absolutely. And this is something that I was waiting for a continuation of the 2002 Crabwood formation. And on August 9th...
The Crabwood formation having sent what message do you feel?
I think that the Crabwood formation had a spiritual message, had a single word sentence, and all upper caps, lead. I think it was telling us that they're trying to tell us in this message that difficult times are ahead, that we've got some friends out there, but there are also some other people who are not trustworthy, and what they're doing is offering false promises. Well, be careful of those people. And then also the message says, conduit closing ends with a comma with implies continuation. And so this had happened in the middle of August of last year, and it represented a sequence of events over a 3-year period of time, as I detail in the article. where there's elements of communication building one upon the other.
So like Paul Harvey, you were waiting for the rest of the story.
That's right. I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. And what happened was that I published an article on the 9th of August, and this one was called Recurring Crop Circle Pictograms with the Aikido Dialogue. And there was a simple lip that kept reappearing. It appeared 4 times. 4 complete circles connected with lines. The first 3 times it appeared on its own. However, the 4th time it appeared, it was the first element of an extremely complex method. And so to me, it started clicking in my head, this key to something. If you're familiar with the internet, that's the liquid digital of our species. And we use the Ethernet. And Ethernet has packets of information. Every packet has a header. Now, not to get into the gobbledygook, but every header says, here's the addressee, and here's the sender. And this is the simple part of the packet. The other part of the packet, the much larger part, the complex part that contains the message. So what I'm seeing is like
You
a
think
header.
we just got the header?
Yes, I'm seeing the header.
Okay.
Except the 4th time the header shows up, it's in the June 31st Overton formation. There's a huge one. And this formation is so large it takes 2 days to form. And again, just that simple header that's changed the whole thing. And at that time, I just didn't know what to make sense of it. I could see it was some sort of protocol device, some sort of addressing device, but I figured, well, we'll see what happens in the continuation of the Crabwood formation.
Of course.
Well, that didn't happen. And from the August 10th on, the crop circle even in English is just reaching home.
That in itself is unprecedented, just to suddenly stop like that. Well, what do you imagine? Do you imagine crop circles have been prevented from being laid down? Do you think that there has been some sort of contact between one of our governments and those laying down the crop circles? What are you imagining happened?
Well, what I'm imagining happened is that there was a sequence building.
Okay.
And if you listen to what Linda at earthfiles.com has to say all the day, now there's at least 4 documented incidents.
Okay, I know Linda was chased by a helicopter, right?
That's right. But also during this time, on the 26th of August, World News comes out with date predicted in a crop formation.
September 6th.
26th of August.
Oh, on 26th of August. Okay, I thought it was something's pointing to September 6th, though, right?
Right. Now, this is a formation that appeared back in 1995, the Tichborne formation. And it has basically just a chart of our inner solar system. And you align it, it comes up perfectly with Mars basically being the time measure, the outer ring. And, we sat down and we checked it out ourselves. We said it was good. And he's on the money with the time. And what he's showing on the 6th of September is that there is going to be an object that will be between the orbit of Venus and Earth. It'll be on the other side, and that's what's shown in the formation. Now, what happened on the 28th of August is that we noticed an unidentified winged object over Lasco 3 inches. Now, the fact that it's winged is important to know because that means it's too bright to be a star. Something about it. It's going to be a large object.
How clear is the photo?
It's on the site, actually. And I have it circled so the viewers can see it. And what happened the following day is that what was curious to us is that Soho imagery the next day, there appears to be editing. And the editing appears to be blocking that object that had appeared.
So the winged object now is suddenly gone.
That's right.
Fortunately, you preserved the image intact.
That's right. And it's up on the site. Then on the 29th of August,
Where would this object have been? I mean, so was one of our satellites. Where would it have been?
this object it appears that it's here in the vicinity of Venus. It's where this crop circle formation is generally predicting it's going to appear.
All right, I'm going to just take a giant leap here. I mean, I'm trying to put all this together in my mind. Here come crop circles. Here come what appear to be messages, headers, the beginning of a message, promise of some words, comma, you're waiting for the next shoe to drop. It doesn't, it disappears. Various hints that would point toward what these messages were trying to say appear on satellites and then suddenly disappear. I mean, is this all headed down toward somebody else figured the message out and didn't want the last part of it to get here, and so ensured that it didn't? Isn't that where we're going here?
Yes.
Who do you think figured it out?
Whoever can afford to fly from that to the national.
Well, let's see. Who would that be? Hey, listen, I want to ask you something. How does a CNN science features news producer get from CNN totally mainstream, albeit interesting science news, to what you're talking about right now?
Well, I got the DSL connection back in '99 and was just giving it a test and decided to go for sites that would be colorful and not well designed. And I was looking for prophecy sites. Came across Millennium Group, and they were talking about Comet B at the time. And this was, as you recall, the King of Terror.
Sure.
And that was the whole thing. Everyone was over in Turkey. It was the solar eclipse. And I was going through the NASA video feed and saw three objects. And the way I saw them was pretty much the way I've seen as a producer in TV. I saw it in the overscan area. You're looking through a camera, and of course you have the line inside that says you're inside this line. Oh, sure. The overscan is outside of that. And a professional shooter may see something in the overscan and it really catches their attention. They go to it like a bird's eye. So what happened was the shooter saw something in the overscan and went to it. And that's what caught my attention. So then I did a frame-by-frame analysis, and I found three objects which I labeled A, B, and C. Now, with the help of imagery from the Mir space station, taken by a French astronaut, we were able to eliminate two of those objects, one being a rocket booster, and the other one being a lower satellite. However, the third one, object B, was in fact a comet. It was something that there was no other way to explain it. It had all the characteristics of a comet, where it had the coma around the head, the horseshoe-shaped coma, and there was nothing in the star chart that matched up with it. So at that point, there was something that did appear during that solar eclipse. And from there, it just was, I got hooked and started liking this type of science and stayed with it.
And so here you are. If you were to take a guess at the message that would have been, or could have been, or might have been, what do you think was coming? Any clue? Any guess?
I have no idea. I believe it would have been a benign message, where the intention was good for it.
Well, why go to a lot of trouble, no matter who you are, to erase a benign message?
Well, it's something where this particular message, what was curious about it, is that the circumstances of everything happening at the same time.
I mean, you say here, in the final analysis, I believe that we've been denied another important crop circle message as the early season trends in England were showing a build-up to something significant. So here you think it's going to be significant, not benign. Or I guess it could be benign and significant, huh?
Well, it was, and I think that the August 9th article that I did with the crop circle key was probably a triggering event in this whole sequence. And the reason why was that I just put it up on the site a day and a half ago, and we are declaring it a contact event. That recurring blip that I told you about earlier, it caught the attention of a fellow by the name of Matt Rock, who is a Canadian crop circle researcher. And he started analyzing it. And he found that that recurring blip that appeared 4 times, and on the 4th time was the header of a large message. Is actually the formation of stars in the constellation Pisces. And we have published that on the site. So the August 9th interpretation that I put up, I didn't know it at the time. Basically, I had found that part of the header message that said this is where the signal is going to be coming from, or where the formation, whoever the sender of the message is.
So then you think the message is coming from
Constellation Pisces.
the constellation Pisces? Constellation Pisces. Marshall, I always ask everybody when I talk to them about crop circles this question. It's one of the biggest mysteries, without a question, that the world has, really unsolved. What do you think crop circles? Do you think they're messages, but toward what end? Are we being warned? Are we? I mean, why toy with us in this manner? If you're going to say something, why not just lay it out and say it? Why these sort of subtle things you have to wonder about?
Well,
I don't really expect an actual answer to the question. I just ask everybody, why? What?
yeah, it's a great question. And let's look at the circumstances of contact tonight here. In other words, we have crop circles. Now, up to this point, up to this season, this has been something that's kind of an oddity. People think about it, or they don't think about it. They don't think about it seriously.
Right.
The crop circles in ufology have been gaining momentum. And this time, there's a lot of documented research. A lot of people out there researching these things, and the phenomena is real. When you start getting into crop circle technology, and you start looking at blown nodes and expanded nodes, and how the
Oh, I know. I'm ever so well aware, as I think most of our audience is, of the technical work that's been done, and the fact that, you know, a couple guys with boards and chains haven't done this. It really is a genuine phenomenon, whether it's of and from this earth or of and by someone beyond it. It's a genuine phenomena. It's not just guys with boards and chains. It's a serious mystery, and there probably is a message there. The important thing we need to know is whether it's a warning or... I once had someone say they're markers for time travelers. I mean, they could be a million different things, and you never quite nail it down.
Well, it's whatever you want. You know, people read
Whatever
a lot
you want
into
to
it.
believe.
I look at these things from a standpoint of, you know, a WYSIWYG kind of outlook. What you see is what you get. I'm not interested in trying to relate this to some old mythology. I'm saying, look, if you're going to send a message across a galaxy,
Yes.
you're going to be talking in things that people can grasp. You're going to be talking in scientific terms. You're going to be conveying logical thoughts. You're not going to be getting into mysticism.
But if somebody sends me a message, and the only message is believe, oh my, what am I to believe? We'll be right back.
situation. I think we're a more sophisticated population.
Maybe.
Maybe. I think that for a lot of people, there's going to be some confusion. They'll be numb about it. But if I look at the small percentages of people that I'm getting these really terrible reactions, to the articles that I'm publishing, and if I were, quote unquote, a government, I would be looking at those with concern, because I could see those people becoming problems, not being able to come to grips with this whole change in their life, seeing their belief systems taken apart. I think in the mainstream, there are a lot of us that will be a little numb, will wander through it, but I think that we are far more sophisticated now than we give ourselves credit for. But there still remains a small percentage of the population that is very, very young.
There are, of those who write of UFOs and extraterrestrials and the things that we don't fully understand now, about 90% write positively. I mean, they're optimistic. They think this will all be a good thing. And then there are a few who aren't as sure, and to them, this might be a bad thing. It might be evil. It might be that whoever they are, they will have negative what's the right word?
They'll be exploited.
Well, that's something short of coming down and eating us. But not good.
Not good. Well, first off, if anyone lands and they come out and they say, "Take me to your leader," their brain before they eat your brain, because what they're saying is, "Take me to whoever controls you. I want to control you through them." But I really wrestled with this philosophically and looked at the situation. I said, well, let's just imagine we're a humpback whale swimming along the coastline of California, and there's 3 ships in the water around us. One ship has got a bunch of folks with cameras, and they're taking pictures, and another boat has got they've got a gun show. They want to shoot a harpoon to it.
It's an obvious whaler, yeah.
Obvious whaler. And then there's a third ship, and they're trying to put themselves between you and the whale, putting themselves at risk.
The Greenpeace guys.
Right. So, we've evolved. If you think about the slaughter we conducted on whales at one time, we've come a long way to stewardship and mentorship. And so, I'm projecting that out to the races that we would meet and say, there are the whale hunters. And then there are the ones that just want to watch, and the ones that want to help protect us from the whale hunters. And so it's not going to be a clear black and white world out there. We're going to come into contact with other races. And so we have to be able to stand on our own 2 feet and make some pretty hard decisions about who we're going to associate with, who we're going to form a dialogue. And I think that the number one most important rule is to take purpose in front of everything that we do. We have to say, be respectful of free will. In other words, yes, no. If we say no, you respect it. And if you don't, then we're dealing with an exploitive group. And we've got a problem. And we need to deal with it.
All right, maybe in a way we just said no. I mean, if some government, British or American or whatever, prevented the laying down of a very important message, then in a way we just said no to them.
Or I would come back with this. The first contact has been by exploiters. The ones that say, take me to your leader because I want to exploit you through your leadership. And so really what's happening is that the parenting or the mentoring rate is trying to contact us in a benevolent manner outside of the government because there's already been contact by the exploiters within the government. It's another way to look at it.
Yeah, it's a possibility. But I sort of give equal weight to the we're nice guys and look out, they might not be such nice guys. I see nothing so far to absolutely put me on either side of that. I just, it seems innocuous on the one side, but then again, something that's really good when it gets you, bite you in the butt at the end, would sound that way in the beginning, wouldn't it?
Well,
They're not going to lay down messages saying you die soon or something like that. Right? They're not going to tip their hand. They're going to come at us easily and try to get followers and believers.
Well, they're going to say that, but when I looked at the message and the Crabwood 2002 message and the word believe, keep in mind, you go to church on Sunday and how many times do you hear from the pulpit?
Lots of
Believe.
Oh, lots of times.
That's just a matter of faith. All right? Perhaps that's a message that says, human beings don't have a corner on spirituality. All right? And so they're getting that across, but also maybe it's encouragement. Saying, look, you're going through a tough time. If you look at Aboriginals and the Hopis, they talk about the ant people coming back to help us again. And so there is this deep time history background that you look at, especially in the Aboriginal history, where after a terrible tribulation to the planet, creatures did come from space and helped us to get back on our feet. They helped us. And actually, modern day prophecy, from what I'm reading from sites from Bohoka, they're saying the same thing's going to happen again. We're going to hit the wall. Our civilization's going to collapse, and they're going to come back and help us help ourselves get back on our feet. So we can sit here and project our fears, or we can just simply trust our own instincts to meet them head on, one-on-one. Not be, not that we would provoke, but in essence, you listen with your eyes. You see what they do, not so much as what they say, but you see what they do.
The crop circles that halted in Great Britain, do you believe they just halted or were stopped?
They were stopped.
They were stopped.
They were blocked.
Not just one, but all the ones that would have come.
That's right, because formations continued in other countries around the world.
Indeed. But the most advanced ones have always been in Britain or in that area.
Yes, and I believe it's because England is specifically conducive to the formations of a sophisticated crop circle. They tend to form over England, even with a very large aqua system. And these are very old farmland. And it's just like, if you're a photographer and the first Kodak film or something that they're using in China, you go for the Kodak film. Mm-hmm. All right. So it's the same difference here. I think England is
the Kodak.
It's the Kodak.
So you're pretty much of an optimist then about all of this, really, aren't you?
Yes. I feel that altogether we're going through an evolutionary event. I think we're moving forward. Not that evolution is not particularly a messy thing from time to time. It is. Birth is a lot of yelling and a lot of screaming. And it gets messy.
But that word covers a lot of territory. I mean, an awful lot of people I've talked to, like yourself, feel that there's an evolutionary event coming. Well, most evolution is propelled by disaster, by catastrophe, by things and rocks falling from the sky and dinosaurs disappearing and humans arriving. Most evolutionary leaps are propelled by some gigantic event.
Yes, and
the optimists that I listen to, like yourself, tend to think these, or sort of gloss over these events, saying, well, everything could be a wonderful future. Yes, there's going to be a little rough spot there, but then, we'll get over that. And well, in that little rough spot, millions or even billions die.
That's right. But yes, it sounds very compelling, but the question is what's better? That we persevere, evolve, become better, or we get to continue later in the fossil record. And some other species wind up digging us out of the ground like we're digging up the dinosaurs.
Tomorrow's premium gas.
There you go. I'm unleaded myself.
So you're going to continue your monitoring of this situation. There's no way, obviously, that messages are either erased or prevented. So we're going to have to wonder what would have been said.
Yes, and also I'm concerned that there won't be another crop circle season anymore next year.
Do you think it may have stopped or be prevented henceforth?
I think that this year, the reaction, from what I'm seeing in the analysis, the reaction was sloppy. It was ad hoc. It was, quick bat in the hatch and kind of the thing. Then,
And it may be all over then, huh?
and it may be all over. I think next season it'll be, it's not going to happen the way we would hope it. It's going to be very slickly engineered out.
Marshall, thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you.
Have a good night. All right, there you have it. Somebody who thinks that's it. Messages are over. Done with. Now we're on our own for whatever's coming. And September 6th will be an interesting day to watch and monitor anyway. I'm Mark Bell. We'll be right back. Wonderful to be here. Quickly in the news before we do jump in, our president will address the nation Sunday night, tomorrow night about Iraq, amid growing U.S. casualties and criticism about his handling the war against terrorism. Last time he made such a speech was back on May 1st when he landed on the deck of the USS Abraham Lincoln, you recall that, and declared that major combat operations in Iraq had ended. Since then, more have died than during the war. The most powerful hurricane to hit Bermuda in 50 years went slamming into the island chain Friday. Winds of about 120 miles an hour. What you would expect, palm trees going down, power out, that sort of thing. That island has traditionally been kind of like an island of steel in resisting hurricanes. We'll see how they do with this one. I hope well. The FBI has issued a worldwide alert Friday for 4 men linked to Al-Qaeda, including a suspected terror cell leader and an avowed suicide attacker after new intelligence indicates they might be plotting attacks against the U.S. They base this, of course, on increased chatter and that sort of thing, but there's been a lot of that. All right, so we're going into open lines in a moment here. Oh, I do want to mention there's a really good new TV show that I bet a lot of you out there have no idea about. It's on Showtime, and it's called Dead Like Me. And there's a little cute little actress in there who does that, named Ellen Muff is her name, and she's really incredible. She's sort of a pouty little. I think she was an 18-year-old who was walking along one day, and a re-entering Russian toilet seat took her out big time, and then she got turned into a reaper, and she has to go and hit souls of other people who are going to die violently, and it's a pretty cool show, really. It's sort of half serious, half comedy, the kind of thing I like, and you might too. mysterious and reassuring. By the way, I just received this, and I'm hesitant to even read it. I don't know where I'm going to. It comes from an anonymous source who beseeches me to delete the email as soon as possible that I decide to read it on the air. And this may be pure, baloney, total crap. But this person writes, Art, I have it by a very reliable source that the accident, in quotes, at Disneyland today is being treated by the Anaheim police as a crime scene. Now that just may be his interpretation of it, but he's mentioning this from a reliable source, and I have nothing more, totally nothing more on it than that. And so I really, although you would certainly think they would check out that aspect of it anyway, wouldn't you? All right, this is going to be an open line, unscreened, unprotected, look out, held in, because who the heck knows what's going to happen on the show, and here we go. First time caller line, you're on the air with Art Ellis, with Clipping and all that stuff. You are indeed.
I was wondering,
Where are you?
in Detroit.
Detroit. All right.
I wanted to ask you about what Tom Nelson Martin thought about extraterrestrials.
Oh, that is an interesting question. What part of Nelson I thought? Well, I think like most religious people, and he was very much so, very religious, of course, and I think he thought that they were probably evil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did he say which governments knew about them?
No, although he did say that governments did know about them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Take care. Yes, out of my one of those things. Probably got a real good place up there, I'd say, living there. And yeah, that's one of the reasons, like, for example, the last hour, we were having a discussion about whether these beings, these message givers, may be good guys or bad guys. I'm not sure. I'm really, right there on the fence about it. I have no idea. They could easily be one as the other. Do I think there really is intervention going on in the form of messaging or something? Certainly all the sightings indeed I do, but I'm very open-minded about what it all is. Wildcard line, you are on the air. Good morning.
Art, hi. My name is Lito. I'm calling from Sacramento.
Yes, sir.
I must say, Art, you are still the true Mac Daddy of talk radio. we appreciate you so much. Art, about 10 years ago, in '93, this was before the Matrix came out, you're my Morpheus. You convinced me to take the red pill, my friend. And when I did, my mind was really open to the things that you espoused on your radio program.
It was a very psychedelic.
Concerning prophecy, I've always been a church-going, and my family was church-goers. My grandfather was a Pentecostal minister.
Well, Bible school.
Well, I could only see it from one point of view, though. But you helped me get into reality. One of your first guests was the gentleman who wrote the book, I think, The Spirit of the God.
Oh, yes.
I heard that interview in '93, and it just woke me up. I'm saying to myself, these people, there are people out there who see things that are going on, and it's coming from so many different point of views. I'm telling you, the veil is coming down quickly.
Whether it's Native Americans, whether it's people who just are claiming to be prophets, or people who have visions, not talk to the best of them, there is a central core of similarity to all of their messages, and that's what I find most intriguing. Either they're all listening to each other, which I sort of doubt, or there really is a central message coming through to a lot of people.
What bothers me, Art, is, and maybe you can see this too, and we will definitely find out where our president stands this Sunday, but the American people, not just the American people, the people of the world, the crop circle phenomenon does bother me. When you see something like that just ending, and the gentleman saying, that is it.
Yeah.
It kind of tells you that's a signal.
It was about it as the message ended, and you didn't get the last breath.
Or I think the next message is not going to be so much a message. It's just going to be, this is it. You don't want to wake up.
All right, then let me try it out on you. This is it. This is what? In other words, are we facing something benevolent and good here to help us through some whatever, or are we facing somebody who wants our kidneys?
You know something, Art? You know, separating the wheat from the tares? It's like you're going to be on one side or the other. And what side that is, I can't explain what the sides are. But as humans, we are either going to take that next step or you're not. And the ones who don't want to take that next step, I don't know how we separate everybody, but it's going to be a separation of those who really want to reach out and involve themselves in creating something better than what we have here, or those who just want the status quo. And I'm not with the status quo. I know there's something more. And I'm going to keep on reaching, and I want to thank you for enabling me to know that there are others doing the same thing. So keep on doing it, brother, and I hope you were back full time. I love George, but I'd love to hear you at least 2 nights a week.
I appreciate the word, sir. Thank you very much. So you'll either be among the saved or be beaten east of the Rockies or on the air. Hello.
Well, wait, figures, Mr. Bell. No, just a little tribute to JC there. Hey,
Stop for a second.
Art, and I'm not, we must say that this show is a mover and shaker because after last night's show, suddenly the president wants to talk to the nation about the war in Iraq.
Wow, what a coincidence, huh?
I don't know if there's any tie in there, but George says there's no coincidence.
Oh, yeah.
Also, sir, you know, I think the biggest experiment we ever did on introducing the nation to the truth about UFOs was the Orson Welles show. That show that they did way back that the whole country freaked out.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think that
No, I mean, you're really right. The only real experiment in that area we've had would have been a couple, but the biggest one was certainly Orson Welles. No question about it. Now let's think about that. How did people react? They're eating people in New Jersey. Well, people went berserk, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's the only real mass psychological Rorschach test we have for what people might do, and it didn't turn out so well, did it?
But I'd like to think that we've matured since then because if 911 and the blackouts don't tell us that we've matured, I really believe it does because there was calm. Even though there was some chaos, basically the nation took it pretty well, and that could have been the beginning and the end right then, either one of those. And I think that the nation proved right then that we can handle more than equal way back then.
Really, there's two things with equal, okay, we might now be able to handle it, and maybe looking at the history and what we thought there was history, it might be 9/11 and the blackouts, and we did handle those extraordinarily well, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
So maybe you're right. Maybe we are ready, and maybe the fact that we're ready is about half.
Great. And JC, if you get a chance, call me.
Oh, by the way, have you remember Metal Hole? After the whole Metal Hole thing, somebody, Humor, thank you for doing from the sound. I have spent a long time laughing at this sound. It is supposedly the sound of a cat being, without ceremony, tossed in Mel Hole. And you gotta listen to the sound. And then second sound when the cat gets down, 5,000 or 6,000 yards or something either way. I mean, the second real pathetic sound. Listen carefully. There we go. Cat with the Mel Hole. There you go. People will inevitably one more time. It's the second sound that gets me. Anyway, I just have to find out earlier tonight. You're on the air, Coach Cook AM on the West Logic line. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Art. I don't know where to begin other than,
At the beginning, sir.
pardon?
At the beginning.
Okay. I live in San Francisco and in the inner city, and it drives me crazy. And to get away from it all and to meditate, I like to go at the beach at night, look at the stars. A couple of weeks ago on a Saturday night, I went to the turning dusk, and I have a certain method of signaling. I said, I'm going to make contact with her tonight.
Wait a minute, you're out there trying to contact extraterrestrials.
Right. And I have my own unique method. I'm not going to reveal the coast to coast land because I want to use your advanced audience to able my own special way of getting in touch with the space craft. Okay, so the first thing that I use right to the overhead is this is just you circular craft. I see a penguin, an Arctic penguin in San Francisco. I thought it was a bird with a broken wing. I looked at it, it's a penguin. It swims out to the water like a penguin does. It does its penguin thing. I said, wow. Okay, so that's two very strange anomaly in the night.
Why would they not an Arctic penguin do that?
I talked to friends that said maybe it escaped from the zoo, or maybe it's Earth changes, like that guy wrote about, what was it called? That coming global superstorm. You know that guy with the other guy?
That guy with the other guy, yeah.
Right. At any rate, I come home and try to digest because I wasn't sleeping well. I go down to the beach to get the salt air to relax, you know. So I figure I'll try to get a couple hours sleep, come back the next night. Next night, okay, beautiful, go down there at dusk, beautiful sunset on the beach. Start my signaling process.
I hope, by the way, you were using a C-Crane LED light.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to pay $80 for a flashlight. At any rate, no, it's a great, they have great products. I just, on a budget.
All right, so here you are.
So
Signaling
here I
again.
am on the beach, okay? Very busy beach day on a Sunday. Everybody's there. I said, well, you know, I got to get far away from people if I'm going to make contact. Maybe they'll take me away to a better world. Who knows? Because I knew there was something benevolent about a circle, you know, life is a circle. Circular shaped craft, it's got to be good. So I'm signaling. 5 minutes, there it is, okay?
What?
I see the pattern of light, okay? It's circular, all right? Now, don't ask me how, but I know I'm in telepathic contact. And ever since this has happened, I've had,
All right, well, it's very important to understand, but hold it, sir. What did they tell you if you were in contact? What was
What did they tell me? Well, I had to make it down to the beach way far away, about 4 miles towards Pacifica Daly City, to get far away from people. So I'm walking, exhausted. I took a nap, right? As there were 3 crabs, you know, following me, and I knew I was going to make contact. So, you know, I
All right,
just
in
waited.
the interest of time, try and answer my question. What did they tell you?
Okay, all right, I'll cut right to the chase.
Good.
When I woke up, came back, they were there, fire, signaling, okay? They were speaking in a language that I didn't know, but I understood.
All right.
Which was come with us, come along with us, be with us. And I was very scared.
Why? I mean, this is what you wanted.
Because I fully saw the craft was huge, triangular, red, glowing like the sun.
But you went down there for this reason. You wanted contact, and now you got it, now you're
but
scared.
this was not the being I saw. This was not the ship that I saw the night before. This was triangular. The night before it was circular. Understand? Okay? Now a triangle, that means yield. A circle is life. I firmly know and believe this. We are being visited by multitudes of races. They are very interested in the goings on of Earth.
So why
Some are good, some are bad.
why didn't you go?
Why didn't I go?
Yeah.
Because these I got the impression that these beings were not benevolent at all, that they were malignant,
I
and that they wanted to use me for some kind of, like what Whitley went through, or some kind of Island of Dr. Moreau type of a human experimental animal thing, or
Gotcha.
God knows what else.
You felt you would have been
I- it would
probably,
have been voluntary.
you felt you might have been cut up, mutilated, and otherwise spindled.
Exactly. But I know deep in my heart that there are good, benevolent races out there which I will make contact with, which I will go with. But
Well, the truth of the matter, sir, is when you flash that flashlight, you don't know what's going to come.
no, but I know how to identify them, and I know I have protection and intuition.
So you think that the guys in the triangular craft are not our friends?
Guys and gals.
Well,
Guys and gals.
And the
Make
ones
that clear, because
but the ones
my
in the
contact was with a woman.
women, oh really?
Yes, really.
A woman?
She was very exotic, shapely, like a bombshell figure. It was at night, but I could make out her figure, and she was wearing a gown, like a Stevie Nicks kind of rolled gown. She had dark hair, long hair, but I could not see her face. And she was flashing a light like what was on the ship.
So you
And
somehow have even resisted the Stevie Nicks of extraterrestrials and walked away from it, right?
All right. I was running along silently on the beach because I knew that I did not want to embark on this. And all they heard were my keys dangling. I had the
How do I know you weren't chasing Stevie?
Pardon?
How do I know you weren't chasing Stevie down?
It wasn't Stevie that was on my mind. It was a different woman who, from way back when I've been carrying the torch for, who fixed that description.
Well, listen,
Many years ago.
I'm afraid this torch has got to go out. I appreciate the whatever it was you just gave us. What do you think? Was that a real contact story, folks?
This time caller line is area code 775-727-1222. East of the Rockies, call 800-825-5033. And west of the Rockies, call 800-618-8255. International callers may reach out by calling the AT&T International Operator and dialing toll-free 800-893-0903. Now, for George Norrie, special guest host, Art Bell.
I begin to sense the possibility of a contact fight. Is that what it's going to be about? Is contact? If so, then let it be. Good morning, everybody. Open lines. Anything you want to talk about is fair game. A recently seen bumper sticker, eagles may soar, but weasels don't get sucked into jet engines. On our international line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art. Jeff from the UK. I'm just going to point out that in 1995, there's a digital information which showed a planetary alignment Because these things are pretty predictable to date-wise, it's interesting that this alignment actually pointed to a specific date of September the 6th, 2003.
That's right. So you're obviously, not only are you up on all this, but you are there in Great Britain. So a couple of questions for you here. Why do you think that all of a sudden these messages have either stopped or been stopped?
Well, I mean, I do recall, I mean, there was a time I visited Silton Hill, and I was just looking around the fields, and I could see that there was one field with a little square that was being played out. Pretty obvious what had happened there, and I suppose some of the farmers are doing it for innocent reasons, but there's enough in that area to say that if they stop altogether, if he's talking about any human hoax ones, well then he wouldn't all stop at one go, would they?
Since all the messages appear there in Great Britain, maybe the message is about Great Britain. Has that occurred to you?
Well, I mean, I have heard the counterclaim. They say that it was like Lyndon Mohan was an Apache helicopter or something in the area. They're saying that was patrolling there. Well, I haven't seen anything around there, but then I'm in a slightly different part of the UK.
Yeah, but maybe whatever it is that's going to happen is going to happen in the UK.
Could be. I mean, certainly we've got the history and we've got the geography to make it an interesting place to start. So.
All right, well, listen, thank you very much for the call, all the way from across the ocean there. And it is certainly odd that they've all either stopped or been stopped. Either way, there's got to be a pretty good-sized message there. A big curiosity, I would say. Maybe you just want to comment on why you think they've either stopped or been stopped. First-time caller line, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. This is Steve from Port Audio.
Hello,
Long time.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? Long time listener. And I'm just kind of curious, a little bit different subject here. I'm just kind of curious as to what you've been doing with your retirement. I'm sure the world is curious to what you've been up to.
Well, I gave a few clues about that last time. I mean, I stay radio-oriented. Ramona and myself have a radio station here in front of that, and that requires no minor amount of attention. I have ham radio, and I have radio. So, that and basket weaving.
The basket, yeah. I like the baskets too. So, you don't have a website anymore.
Well,
You gotta keep it posted.
I do have a
People that aren't
website.
in Pahrump, we have a hard time.
But you've got to understand that I have no desire to see it wiped out, destroyed, and otherwise mauled. So, rather than give it out on the air, I would not want to.
Probably find easy enough to. Anyways, okay, Art, well, we all miss you, and we hope that you come back and visit us very, as often as you can. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Take care. There are some websites that I have an interest in or whatever, but you have to understand that we have killed on this program. I mean, the number of notches in Coast to Coast we've killed website to post are pretty long, and so I have to be very careful about URLs I give out. You're on the air, Coast to Coast AM on the wildcard line. Hello. Hi.
I'm from Texas, and it's nice to hear your voice again.
Why, thank you.
And I just want to make some comments about tonight's guest caller. I mean, the guy you had interviewed earlier.
Oh, yes, sure.
And I think that I would probably fall in line with one of those individuals who'd probably, be found in the fossil record, unfortunately.
In other words, you don't think you're going to make it through the change, whatever it is.
Like I said, all depends on where I'm at on planet Earth or whatever. But I can be. I'm coming from the other side of the fence, from the metaphysical New Age, over to the Christian bent, except with a retro twist.
You're a Christian with a retro twist?
Well, I look at the UFO enigma phenomenon and all that with a little bit of a different, different point of view than the other JC.
Okay, what is your point of view?
Well, I believe that it's a real phenomenon. They exist and raw beings exist out there, but I wouldn't just go, quietly into the night and really embrace if they're so advanced. And, well, they know. graphically advanced and otherwise. And
Any more than you'd open all email attachments, right? I mean, you think before you click.
I would tend to believe that they also have the capability of manipulating human beings on various different levels. So
I could go for that. I hear from a lot of them as well.
it must be difficult to we're kind of stuck in a certain crux place where we either have to make a decision or we don't. What do we face if we don't make a decision and all that? You know, it all depends on who's really living in the world.
Well, there's quite a bit of information to indicate that our military actually shoots at UFOs. Now, you got to think about that really. I mean, how good an idea is it to be, lighting one off toward one of them?
Yeah, it's like when the enemy talked to B about that. None. Well, I don't know. I recently, though, the last guy that called, or actually the guy that called three back, he was talking about his contact experience and everything. I don't know what he was saying is true or not, but it sounded what he was saying. It sounded like he had great conviction in his voice.
Okay.
And, I recently saw, I guess you could call it a sighting or whatever. And, to me, it made me feel like something, major, really, it's like everybody else is saying, on the horizon.
Well, all right, I'm with you all the way. Once you've seen something, then there are only so many possibilities. I mean, once you have seen, I saw a triangular craft, everybody well knows, my wife, and once you've seen something, then there are only so many possibilities. What I saw wasn't fuzzy, distorted, or otherwise not visible. It was right there. Could have thrown a rock thing, that kind of right there. Really close encounters of some number or another of the kind. And, once you've been down that road, you do cross a threshold. There are then only so many possibilities. And one of the really strong ones is that we are being observed, being worked, being something by somebody. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Bell.
Good morning.
Hey, well, first of all, I would like to say I'm listening to you on AM 1340 WGAU.
Oh, hey. Excellent.
Okay, yeah, a year ago, I too reported a spacecraft right over Athens, Georgia, where I live.
I knew this was going to be contact night. All right.
Yes, after it swooped down over College Square, right in the heart of town, it zoomed off. It's fast as I looked up at it.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have any lights. I guess the aliens had their lights off so they wouldn't be seen. But
well, whatever it was you saw, is there any doubt in your mind at all that this was a craft from elsewhere?
It appeared to be so with me. Yeah, it had a very high sign. Even 50 feet up in the air, I could see myself in the reflection. And that's a very high shine. And I did see myself in the reflection, even though it did zoom off very quickly. I'm just wondering why it didn't have any light. Probably did, and they weren't on. So I thought I'd let you know.
Well, that's a very close contact indeed. I appreciate the call and the report. It would be so easy to scoff at this kind of thing until you've had the experience yourself. And I have. And once you have, you're changed forever, and you can't scoff at people. You've got to imagine some of these reports may be made up, but not most of them. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
This is Olin in Culver City, California.
Hey, Olin.
Hi there. Last week, George Nari had an update interview with Robert Felix, the author of the book Not by Fire But by Ice.
Ah, yes.
He said that the Tuvalu Islands are 9 feet above sea level, and they started measuring seawater level and found out that the water level had gone down 2¼ inches in the last few years. No, I think
I don't think I'd want to live on an island named Toodaloo. I mean, it just sounds like, bye, guy.
well, it is an odd name,
Toodaloo.
but we've been having heavy rain and heavy snow, and I think that the seawater level is going down because the global warming is evaporating the water into clouds, which are raining down in torrents and flooding land areas that have never been flooded before. Now, Robert Felix said that in the wintertime, the snow will fall to 9 feet deep and cover houses, and when people open their garage door in the Northeast, there'll be a wall of snow there.
You know, nothing would surprise me. Based on the weather the world has experienced in the last year or so, nothing coming up this winter would surprise me. I really mean that, nothing, including some sort of disaster in Europe.
Well, they had terrific floods in Europe this last summer, or in the last half a year, and it's probably the excessive rain and floods is obviously coming from ocean evaporation, and so the ocean levels are going down instead of up.
Well, that may be. I'll tell you this, though. There is no way that anybody can deny, other than you've got your head in the sand and you are in complete denial, that we're undergoing a profound change of the weather right now, worldwide, a really profound change. So nothing is going to surprise me. Nothing. I would say the winter could hold a lot of surprises for the world. First time caller line, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, where are you?
My name is Linda, and I'm in Springfield, Oregon.
Hey, Linda.
Glad to hear you again.
Thank you.
Missed you. I've been missing the heck out of you.
Thank you.
My blood is doing a slow boil right at the moment. Our wonderful radio station here that carries the program decided to preempt 1 hour of it.
No.
Yeah.
And for what?
High school football.
Oh, my God. These things happen.
Yeah, well, there seems to be a real overdose of testosterone in this area.
Well, let me tell you something. I might be careful here now. I'm a football fan, and life has just begun.
Anyway, I would like very much to, with all my heart, request you to come back on this program full time.
Well, thank you. That's a nice wish.
Art?
However, you must remember that I left because of my back, and so to do a full 5 nights a week would not be a healthy thing for me.
Well, how about 3 nights a week?
Anyway, I appreciate it. Anything else tonight?
Well,
have you been contacted, visited, probed, or otherwise met with aliens?
Well, I work for a municipality here. That's the same as working for aliens.
Yeah.
But anyhow, if you would ask Mr. Nouri, or when you talk to him, that if he could keep the program more on point, more on topic.
Well, all right.
You're not going to come back.
Okay, that's a little bit of a misnomer. Let me explain to you on the radio about that, all right? The people who actually listen to this program already know what I'm going to say, and there are a lot of casual listeners, and perhaps I'm here just because I happen to be here tonight. All right, this program, in the larger media, whether it's CNN or whether it's whoever's commenting on this program, the program has been stamped as nothing about UFOs and extraterrestrials and spacey things and all the rest of it. But this program is not just that, nor has it ever been just that. This program has taken forays into all kinds of strange areas. Anything that's interesting, not just aliens, those are very interesting, but anything. And so when something interesting in the medical world comes along, when something interesting in the tourism world comes along, or something that really affects us all, then this program does showtime. And that's always been the case. People have always sort of stamped this as just one thing, but it's not just one thing. The program will go all over the place. That's just the nature of it. I wouldn't have it any other way. Any other way would be boring. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi, turn your radio off, please. That is something that must do right away. Okay, what is your first name and where are you calling from?
This is Jeff calling from Midland, Texas.
Hey, Jeff.
BPM 550 KTRS.
Right.
Okay, I have a quick comment for you and two questions.
Mm-hmm.
First comment is, just wanted to thank you. It's great to hear your voice again.
Thank you.
And the second thing is, I think you made a great choice in George Mario.
Thank you.
A great guy. Okay, first, this goes back a couple years, but you were on the show Millennium.
Yes, I was.
Okay, I had a question about that.
I'm still getting residual payments from that.
All right.
Oh, thousands of dollars. No, you want to know the truth? Because these little like $1.50 checks.
Oh, funny. Okay.
The truth. It's the truth.
Yeah, I believe you.
They're still showing that thing somewhere.
Right. I just wanted you to maybe comment about that experience on the residual checks. The experience of it, number one.
Yeah.
And my second question, I'll listen off the air, is there a real Millennium group, beyond the Millennium Group website, but a true group like that? That's my question.
You don't think I could answer that in live, do you? I appreciate your call. All right, well, the experience of being on Millennium. God, I hate television. I like watching it, but I don't like being on it. And I've always had a kind of a prejudice against television. I don't know why. Yes, I do. Because it's all rehearsed. And it has to be, there's so many takes to get something done. Everything has to be just right. And then, of course, you have to remember your lines, too. And then when you're somebody like me, right, who is spontaneous and doesn't memorize lines, I just come in here and say whatever the hell I want to say. You have trouble remembering lines. And you're nervous anyway, and that contributes to your forgetting lines and cues and all that stuff. So my experience in making Millennium was cool and fun, but God, I hate television. I really do hate television. This is the medium. We're talking the medium right here. Radio is the real medium. Television is great to watch and terrible to try to be on. West of the Rockies are on the air. Hello.
Holy smokes. I'm on the air.
Yeah, that's how I do it. I mean, just cold turkey.
Mr. Artbell, it's a great pleasure to be on the air with you again. I had an opportunity about 7 or 8 years ago to be on the air, and I totally blew it. All I could think was just repeat the same thing over and over.
Okay. Well, then stop repeating that and start in with, we don't have a lot of time.
Okay, I'll
lay it on.
Okay. First of all, I have never had an experience with UFOs or been able to see them, although I do have, I wish to see a UFO, and the thing is that I do humor them a lot, and they're so realistic that I wake up kind of nervous and excited at the same time.
Well, there's lots of people who think that in your sleep and when you dream would be an ideal time to affect your mind from afar. You are the most susceptible in your sleep.
Correct. Well, there's this dream that I wanted to kind of just share with you.
It's going to have to be real fast.
Okay, the thing is that I'll cut it short. I'm out at the edge of this cliff. There was nothing but sand, and it was late at night. There was nothing but stars out, and I could see a bunch of lights coming over the top of the sky. It looked like falling stars. When I started noticing it just got completely filled up with nothing but UFOs. And that's the middle of all the UFOs I could see counter, like you would see a speedometer, and the numbers were just going and going and going and going and going, and then finally they stopped. And they stopped for about 5 seconds, and I stopped 2003. And then the numbers stopped there, and then when they stopped there, then they continued to go again, and they didn't stop again.
Well, maybe, sir, I gotta go. But that may have been a prophetic dream. Can you imagine looking down and seeing as far as the eye?